SHARD Woven, Episode 1, The City That Forgot Its Name. The map on our table changes every time we blink. We are inside a city that forgot its own name. Merchants speak, but their words slide like wet chalk. Street signs won't hold ink. Letters peel and drift. They say if you say the true name out loud, someone disappears. Tonight we'll test that on camera, and we won't cut away. In the heart of this market, Ash sings it. If you hear it too, don't hum back. Shard Woven, Season 1, The Ashen Crown. Act 1, Arrival in the Fugue. The city greets us with the sound of shoes on stone and a wind that never remembers which alley it took last. Lamps burn with low blue flames, and every time we pass a placard, its name frowns, wavers, and sheds a consonant like a tree losing leaves in a storm that isn't there. We call these places fugues, sections of reality where a thread in the world's loom has frayed. Memory turns to mist, facts wobble. Imagine trying to tie your shoe while your foot is a rumor. That's a fugue. Our crew moves together, a 4-point compass, Kale, Ardent, Field Chronicler. I listen for where history went wrong. Ceres Nitril, Skyborn Exile. She reads weather like most people read faces. Thorn Halvar, Stoneborn Sentinel. He can make a wall confess what broke it. Elira Vex, Weave-sided Scholar. Empathy sharp as a blade, dangerous as a mirror. Stay close, I say. If the alleys try to swap places again, we don't humor them. A vendor with a bell of tarnished silver gestures to baskets of gray fruit. He offers a name that dissolves on his tongue. He frowns, tries again, fails, and laughs like he's heard his own joke before. Fugue signature's heavy, Ceres says, eyes tracking a slow coil of cloud that is somehow indoors. Stormlight currents wrong, like wind with stage fright. Thorn taps a shutter with two thick fingers. This wood's got bruise echo, he mutters. Something pushed the city inward, hard. He lifts one of his twin hammers. Don't worry, Minnie, I'll ask nicely. I pause. You named your hammer, Minnie? He shrugs. Short for minimum negotiation. The other one's consensus. Elira smirks. Very diplomatic. We follow the sound, not wind, not water. A threadbare hum like someone singing with their mouth closed 2 rooms away. Every so often, the pitch sharpens, and lamp flames lean toward a lane no one has taken yet. If long-form epic stories like this are your thing, tap like so. YouTube knows to bring you the next chapter. And if you're new here, hit subscribe. We premiere weekly in this universe. The hum takes us to a market square, stalls webbed in black twine, a kiln at the center, scabbed brick, a crown of ash around the mouth. People stand at a polite distance the way you do around a sleeping dog that might be a god. Listen, I whisper. The kiln sings, not loud, not a tune you could write down. It's more like a memory of a note. And every time someone thinks a name, the pitch shifts, like a compass needle twitching toward true north. Names are magnets in this place, Elira says, but the field's been reversed. Reversed how? I ask. Say the right word, and the city pulls you to it. We trade looks. The rumor about the true name isn't just superstition, it's physics, bad and personal. Act 2, The Law of Unnaming. We fan out. Ceres climbs the old stair behind the market and chalks a windrose on the parapet, watching which arm the air erases first. Thorn interviews stone, knuckles to brick, ear pressed close, listening to the percussion memory of collapse. Elira drifts stall to stall like a quiet bell, asking people to remember the day the sign stopped holding still. A child sells paper swans from a box. She doesn't remember who taught her the fold, her hands do. That feels like the city's thesis. The head forgets, the hands know. At the kiln's rim, gray ash haloed like a crown breaks into flakes when I breathe. The hum fattens and thins as thoughts brush it. I think harbor. The pitch rises. I think citadel. It falls. I think home. The sound widens, but the letters in my notebook blur until my notes read HE. The city is editing me back. Thorn returns with brick dust on his beard. Impact Echo says the market took a hit like a closing fist, he reports. Pressure from all directions at once, like the city clenched around its heart. What's the heart? Ceres asks from above. The name, Elira says, always the name. We test a theory. I write a nonsense word, brindlefax, on a sign with charcoal. It sticks, ordinary and dumb. I write river mouth. The letters fidget like guilty mice. I write, and the chalk snaps as if the city refuses punctuation for a thought it fears. New rule, I say into the recorder. In a fugue of unnaming, generic words behave, specific words shimmer, and the true word probably bites. Elira rests a hand over the ash. Her eyes soften, then sharpen, that private shift she does when she's feeling the weave beneath things. It isn't a word, she says, voice low. It's a chord. The kiln churs in agreement, almost pleased. A street dog lifts its head, whines, and settles again as if someone apologized in a language with no consonants. Okay, I say, the name is a chord. If we sing it, what happens? Something gets claimed, Illyra says. The question is what or who? We circle the square, collecting rumors. A sailor who's never been on the water says the harbor used to be closer, then further away, then somewhere you have to remember in a certain order to find. A baker sells bread stamped with a pattern that looks like a tiny map. When I ask about it, she says, my mother's mother swore the city had 8 names and a ninth no one should say. She called that one the open door. The ash hums in thirds when she speaks, 2 notes we can hear and one just out of reach. Quick question for you watching. If your town forgot its name, would you say it to fix things or keep quiet to stay safe? Drop your answer in the comments. I'll pin the sharpest take. Ceres sketches currents on a scrap of sailcloth. There's a torque in the air, she says, like the skies braced for a note it knows by heart. She glances down at the kiln. At midnight, this place will sing the loudest. Of course, it's midnight. Cities with good self-care pick noon. Thorn grumbles. Midnight is drama with bells. We plan the test. Control variables, safety lines, a position for the camera that won't get erased if the rumor has teeth. If this city believes the true name pulls the speaker into it, then we need anchors, physical and narrative. Stories are structures too, they hold. I prep a simple rig, rope around my waist, a counterweight on a mule cart, Thorn holding the rope without looking like he's holding the rope. Ceres scouts rooftop access in case the air becomes a floor. Elira tunes her ear against the ash until her breath matches the hum. We wait. Act 3, the test. Midnight is a thought with a shadow. The square clears. Even the dog goes somewhere better. Lamps lean inward as if a patient wants to hear the diagnosis. I stand at the kiln's lip with the rope snug. The camera's red light is a tiny, stubborn star. My mouth is dry. Names have power, but so does the telling of what power did. That's my job. Field chronicler, witness, person who jumps first and quotes himself later if he's still got a face. Elira, I say, give me the chord. She doesn't sing so much as let a sound out of her that was waiting behind her teeth. It's 3 notes, spaced like stairs. The kiln resonates. The ash lifts in a ring. I match the intervals. Not well, not beautifully, but true enough for the loom to notice. The hum fattens. The square seems to tilt toward a place that was always slightly above us. On the far wall, ink gathers itself out of nothing. A sign writes N dash and stutters. The rope around my waist tugs. Thorn's hands go from casual to granite. Consensus says no. He mutters to the universe and plants his heels. I push for the last interval. The chord clicks into place like a key turning in a door no one admits is there. Something chooses. Not me, though I feel a hand go through my shirt as if it's checking my ribs for a hiding place. Not Thorn. He's a problem the world respects. The choice skips along the square like a stone over water and touches the camera. For a breath and 12 heartbeats, the lens learns the city's true name. The sign completes itself, Nerath. The sound that crowns it is older than that spelling, a feeling like a mother's first word when she sees her child, a soft oath tied to a hard promise. The ash rings glory quiet and every lamp stands up straight. Then the world corrects. The letters on the sign melt. The ink mourns its own courage. The rope goes slack. A stall awning flaps a single time and forgets why. Thorn exhales. You with us? Think so, I say. My hands shake, not with fear, with relief, with grief. The city had a name and still has it. It just costs something to look directly at it. Elira touches the kiln with 2 fingers. Did you feel that? She asks me. The chord wasn't only a name, it was a tuning. What did it tune? Ceres asks from the parapet. Us, Elira says. Briefly, it let us be the kind of people who could hear the truth without disappearing. We checked the camera, the red light stayed true, the footage shows the sign finishing the word in a scripted hand none of us wrote. For 12 heartbeats, you can read it, we replay it again. Same miracle, same limit. 12 beats of clarity inside a life that usually blurs. A quiet rush goes through the square like someone took a very slow breath. The baker across the way steps into her doorway and whispers, "That's what my mother's mother called it." The ninth name, the open door, Sarah scans the sky. There's more, she says, pointing east. Clouds step into a new pattern and hold it as if remembering hurts less than forgetting. The chord didn't just fix a sign, it pinged the whole region. Tell that to a city, he says. We pack in silence that isn't empty. The map on our table steadies enough to show an old aqueduct pointing like a finger to places under streets that never loved sunlight. The square forgets to be afraid for a whole minute. I look into the camera. If this story hit like a tuning fork, I say, subscribe so you don't miss the next step. Drop a comment. Would you have sung the last note? And if you want to help us build this universe faster, consider join for behind the scenes maps and early access, or tap super thanks to fund the next field record. I'll shout out supporters on the end card of episode 2. We let the kiln hum us out. Lamps bow. The rope remembers my waist and then unremembers it politely. The ash settles into a crown with room for one more note. Next up, the kiln that sings. We follow the reply under the city.